Hello, everybody. It's Pappy from Spiderweb Reviews, and I am here with a movie review. The movie I am reviewing is 6 Days. It's a British movie that was filmed in London, and I watched this movie off of Netflix. So if you're seeing this review around the same time that I'm releasing it, you could find it on Netflix. To get into the story of this movie, it's based on a real life event, so this really happened. It's about I think it was six Iranian gunmen or terrorists that overtake the Iranian embassy in London, England, and they also take hostage all the people that were inside at the time. Their demands are to have the British government work with the Iranian government to release 91 prisoners. This standoff goes on for 6 days, and during that time, there's a British force known as SAS that is working on a plan to breach the embassy, save the hostages, and kill the terrorists. So that's the main objective of this story. Like I said, again, it's based on a true story. So it's kind of nice seeing that history. Um, but with that being said, we'll hop right into the review. So I gave this movie 4.5 legs out of 8. So pretty average overall. I wasn't too impressed with everything, although I can admit that I kind of like seeing history movies about, especially about real life events, and seeing them kind of reenacted and seeing what actually happened during those events. So I was kind of intrigued by that, but overall, aside from that, this movie is not that great. Um, to hop into the criteria that I have, so the character development, I only gave it half a leg out of 2. Character development was really weak. There's a lot of characters in this movie, but like none of them really stand out to me. I think a couple of them get a little bit more airtime than others, but I mean that still doesn't mean that their characters were developed very well. I feel like, especially with this movie being on the shorter end, only about an hour and a half, that some of these characters could have been developed way, way more and would have made the story more enjoyable. So that's why I gave the score I did. Um, as for the story, I gave it 1 leg out of 2. It's a good event to kind of see what happened, but it's kind of one of those events where I don't necessarily know that it needed a movie to recreate that story. I would say about the first hour of this movie really is kind of slow and just involves the negotiation part of everything, and there's just not a lot of action, just a lot of dialogue, and it just didn't move fast enough, and it just wasn't told very well. I feel like they just highlighted a couple of the main points and then they moved on, so it was just not great for how they told this story. Um, for the plot twist, I gave it half a leg out of 1. They kind of foreshadow the plot twist. They're really the only plot twist that happens in this movie. So, it was kind of predictable. So, I mean, it was still good, I guess, but it wasn't fantastic. And I don't know, it probably could have been done better. So, the ending was good. They do give you like an update on what happened to everybody after the event. So I usually enjoy seeing those out of movies that are based on real events. So it was good to see that update. The villain, so the gunmen that overtake the embassy, there's one main one, and then there's like his kind of sidekick, and neither one of them is really developed very well. I kind of felt confused at what their entire mission was as the days progressed. It seemed like they got weaker. Once it was like days 4, 5, and 6 of the 6 day standoff. So I wasn't impressed with the villain development. And then for production, I gave it a full leg because there was really no issues with that. So with that being said, it's a 4.5 legs out of 8. I would really only recommend this movie if you're interested in hearing about the event itself. It took place in 1980, based on a true story in Britain. So if you want to, see what that was about, you can watch the movie for that. Otherwise, I think this is a movie you could probably pass over. So With that being said, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye-bye.